Today's webinar will begin with an overview of enabling a smart future and endosemic from the Carbon Trust. You will then hear directly from 4 of the Phase 2 competition partners who have solutions for energy management in the hospitality sector. Following this, we will have time for an interactive Q&A session. You'll have the opportunity to submit your questions to today's presenters by typing your questions into the questions pane of the control panel. You can send in your questions at any time during the presentation, and we will collect these and try to address as many as possible during this Q&A session at the end. I would now like to introduce Ross Bruton from the Carbon Trust.
Thank you for joining. Significant changes in the future energy system is presenting challenges as well as new opportunities for all parties involved in the energy supply chain, including the consumers. Some research has suggested that these new opportunities, such as the electric vehicle revolution or the electrification of heating, could result in a potential doubling of peak electricity demand to over 100 gigawatts by 2050, and that's up from 57 gigawatts today. This will require much needed upgrading to the existing technology on the grid, which for this existing tech has effectively underpinned the energy system since the mid-20th century. The rollout of smart meters as part of the smart meter implementation program plays a very important part in the upgrade. Old analog meters can be replaced by next generation digital smart meters, which are able to record energy usage and transmit that data electronically to energy suppliers as well as devices and appliances within the home or business. This vital upgrade effectively means that for the first time, consumers are able to control their energy usage, able to see exactly what they're using and when, and are therefore empowered to take steps to reduce energy consumptions and effectively save money. Led by energy suppliers and regulated by Ofgem, the government is committed to offering smart meters to all homes and businesses across Great Britain by the end of 2020. And if any businesses on the call are interested in more information around smart meters or getting them installed, please speak to your energy supplier and they will be able to assist you in this. So why are we taking a look at the non-domestic market in particular? Small business consumers are key to the smart meter implementation programs to success. While smart meter installations in the domestic premises will represent only 6% of total installs, these 3 million meters are expected to deliver over 1/4 of the total benefits to consumers. Now, this amounts to total benefits of approximately £1.45 billion in consumer benefits, with the overwhelming majority of this, or £1.44 billion, attributed to energy savings specifically. So what are these benefits? I've taken some time to itemize a few of the core benefits of smart meters as well as smart meter data and the systems that are associated with it here. By automatically providing consumption data to energy suppliers, smart meters mean an end to estimated billing and unexpected charges, as well as an end to manual meter readings, saving consumers effectively time, resources, as well as a lot of hassle. Instead, smart meters have the ability to offer businesses accurate, near real-time information on their energy consumption, enabling them to understand where they can save money, which effectively adds to their bottom line, as well as cut energy wastage. Furthermore, by understanding exactly what energy businesses are consuming and when, smart meter data will help them take steps to reduce their carbon footprint, and in that way demonstrate to their customers that they are doing their bit to support sustainability and tackle the issues of climate change. Using smart meters to manage energy could help us save almost 20 million tons of CO2 by 2030. Now, to put that into context, that's the equivalent of taking 600,000 cars off the road. And finally, they provide system benefits such as helping energy suppliers deliver better customer services, as well as tailored energy tariffs to save customers money, and respond faster when something goes wrong, as in quickly identifying power cuts or restoring that power as soon as possible. So within this sector, why the hospitality sector specifically? BEIS has prioritized the hospitality sector along with the retail as well as school sectors as one sector that is set to benefit most from the upgrade. With annual consumption of almost 21,000 gigawatt hours of energy in the sector, which is enough to power 1.2 million homes, the sector represents a significant proportion of all non-domestic energy consumption. The sector is made up of many sites which currently have analog meters in place. There are an estimated 140,000 VAT registered hospitality businesses in Great Britain. So the opportunity for savings and impact is understandably very significant. Furthermore, we also know that these businesses do not always have the time, money, or the expertise to focus on reducing their bills and carbon footprint through active energy management on their side. Smart metering, or more precisely, better usage and access to smart meter data, allows businesses to address this in a far more low hassle and efficient manner. In terms of the competition itself, launched in 2017, the Non-Domestic Smart Energy Management Innovation Competition, or NDSEMIC, is a £8.8 million competition set up by the UK government to develop new innovative solutions to transform energy data into energy saving actions, specifically for small to medium-sized enterprises, enterprises which are unlikely to have an energy specialist on site. The competition partners you'll be hearing from today have already moved through 2 phases of the competition over the past 2 years, through product prototyping and trial site testing, and are currently engaged in scaled piloting of their solutions in the hospitality sector with site partners such as yourselves. Each of the solutions that the partners offers are unique. However, they all share a common foundation in that they offer businesses the opportunity to achieve real-time monitoring and management of their electricity consumption in order to better manage their electricity usage and therefore reduce costs. Features of these systems can include centralized monitoring of energy usage to identify points of savings, notifications and alerts to identify energy spikes or wastages, budget control to track usage against set targets, alignment of energy usage to achieve cost savings due to different or variable tariffs, and benchmarking energy usage and savings against other similar organizations to understand how you compare to organizations of a similar type. So how can you as a business effectively benefit from becoming a pilot partner? Signing up as a pilot customer for one of the partners will allow your business to be part of a UK-wide innovation initiative and position your company as a first mover in the field of smart energy management. Furthermore, access to the solution and services are free and will give your business opportunities to achieve energy cost savings and learn about energy savings initiatives from the partners. Lastly, through your feedback in using these tools, the program will also allow you to be influential in tailoring the future energy management solutions to the specific needs of your business, as well as to the hospitality sector as a whole. To get involved, signups are currently ongoing and run until the end of May, so the end of next month, with the trial period running until the end of 2019. Over this time, businesses will be expected to use the tool as part of normal activities and operations and complete a simple 10-minute survey at the start and the end of the trial. If anyone on the webinar is interested in contacting one of the competition companies for more information regarding their solutions, they will be providing contact details throughout their presentations, so please contact them here. And without further ado, you will now hear from the competition companies and technology, Considerate Group, Element Energy, and Hildebrand, who have developed their own innovative solutions specifically targeted at the hospitality sector. You will hear about what the innovations look like, what the benefits are, and how you might get involved in piloting. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to the first company, which is And Technology.
Thank you. Okay, so great. So we're and we research new technologies to create innovative products for our customers. We have over 39 years of experience delivering innovation and have been developing products in the energy sector for over 12 years now. I'm Gemma and I'm responsible for coordinating our trial, and I'm currently looking for potential sites who would be interested in joining our pilot and becoming one of the first businesses in the UK to trial our new energy management system called AIMS. Oh. So first and foremost, why should you as a business owner even care about your energy usage? Often companies don't factor energy into running of their business or even think about what it can tell them in terms of how they are operating. For example, take a taxi driver would factor in how much petrol they are using into the cost of each journey. But does a pub consider how much they could increase their profit by turning off their unused equipment? They see it as something they need to have to run their business, a necessity, and mostly forget about it until the next big bill comes in. We have found from working with businesses for many years that the common problems surrounding energy include things like their energy spend is too high and they have no way to control it, or they have difficulty motivating staff on the ground to take up energy saving practices, or some just don't have an easy way to monitor usage across multiple sites. AIMS, our new tool, is helping businesses to overcome these challenges and getting them to start thinking about how energy and the role it plays within their business. So what is it? AIMS is a dashboard and mobile app for businesses which helps them to track and monitor their energy consumption and operations. The user-friendly and easy to understand display makes it super easy for you to keep on top of your energy spend so you can take control and see how well your business is operating. Timely alerts to notify you of different energy activity can give you peace of mind if you're away from your business, and automated hints and tips to give you meaningful insight and advice on how to save energy are also features of the system. AIMS works by analysing your energy data to produce individual energy profiles, results and findings which are specific and tailored to you. These are then translated into business operating modes called background, unusual and usual. Operating modes help to build a picture of what normal is for the business and starts to uncover energy and productivity inefficiencies. So what type of information does it tell you? So with the AIMS dashboard and mobile app, you have a wealth of information about your business available to you at your fingertips. See how you are using energy through a graph of real-time energy usage over a day. Use the energy tracker to monitor how well you are meeting your goals and targets. You can compare performance over time or dig down further through historical charts showing results and usage over a week, month, and year. Know when something out of the ordinary happens and do something about it with timely phone alerts that notify you to different energy activity or behaviour. Have access to a feed of hints and tips that gives you personalised business insight and energy saving advice. See how well the business is performing and make the most of this with individual energy profiles that highlight business operations. See a snapshot of how the business is using its energy with personalised AIMS monthly energy reports. And know how well you're doing in terms of competitors or across multiple sites that you may have with industry standard benchmarking. AIMS users can take advantage of a whole host of benefits. Understand exactly where, when and how you are using your energy. Monitor the amount of consumption to keep on top of energy spend. Implement and reinforce behaviour change with staff through highlighting inefficiencies and energy waste areas. Control cost of energy through setting targets and know instantly when you are over. Make informed decisions about the way your business operates to increase efficiency and drive growth. And stay one step ahead with alerts so that you can be predictive and not reactive. We have already had very positive feedback from businesses already trialling AIMS. This independent butcher from Essex has changed the way he thinks about energy in his business, and as a result of using the tool has said that AIMS has given him another level of understanding. He found out that he was using 70% less than the industry standard, but also found out that on particular days his consumption was unusual, allowing him to check staff activity. We are also helping an independent chain of convenience stores to get visibility across their sites, and they are using AIMS to raise awareness amongst their staff. So we are looking for more sites who we can help to become more energy efficient and productive. We are running a free trial of AIMS from now until January 2020, and it's a really exciting opportunity for you to see how energy management can benefit you and your business. If you're a pub, restaurant, cafe, coffee shop or hospitality business, then we would love to hear from you. All you need to have is control over your own energy contract and usage. We are looking for sites who vary in size and welcome independent single sites, multiple sites, franchises and chains. To start using AIMS, all we need to do is to collect your energy data. And we have lots of ways that we can do this. If you have a smart meter or AMR meter and are receiving your half-hourly data in a file, then we can start with this, or we can liaise directly with your energy supplier to access this on your behalf. Not to worry if you don't have either of these, we have our own monitoring equipment that can be easily fitted to begin the data collection activity. And we want to know what you think, so for signing up to the trial, we would ask to collect your feedback so we can learn about your experience from using the tool and how you found it. We would do this through a follow-up call, survey, or an in-depth interview with one of our research partners. If you are interested in joining the trial or wish to find out more, then please visit our website to register your interest or contact me directly. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Gemma. We're now going to hear from Considerate Group from Diana Prince-Parrott.
Hi, hello, it's Diana and Anton here from Considerate Group. We cannot see this slide yet, but hopefully everyone else can. So we are excited to present to you today our new mobile energy management app designed specifically for SME hospitality businesses. At Considerate Group, we are specialists in the hospitality industry, and our mission is to drive responsible business practice at every level in the organization. We have a proven track record in delivering innovative technical solutions to the hospitality industry. For example, our sophisticated data management system, Conserve, allows larger businesses to monitor, interpret, and improve their environmental performance. As part of this Smart Meter Innovation Competition, we are bringing an energy management app tailored specifically to the requirements of SME hospitality businesses. So I'll pass on to Anton now, and yes, please move to the next slide.
Okay, so the challenge is that energy management tools have previously not considered the unique nature of the hospitality industry. Energy management tools have often prioritized other industries with larger consumptions and greater opportunities for saving, sharing schemes, and ESOS assessments. There is also a widespread perception in the industry, confirmed by our surveys and user testing sessions, that energy management tools require specialist expertise or a full-time member of staff to use. There is also a strong perception that hospitality businesses lack control over their energy costs. Owners often paying for estimated consumption readings, viewing energy costs as a fixed cost, and simply paying their energy invoices as they come in. Energy costs should not be overlooked, as they offer a unique opportunity to increase your margins without increasing your sales. There is also the distinct issue of staff engagement. Staff in hospitality tend to have a higher turnover rate and lower job satisfaction than other industries. On top of this, hospitality is also a very time-sensitive industry with often severe time and budget constraints. Broadly, also confirmed through our user testing and survey results, there is a general unawareness as to the potential to save in the hospitality industry. This is despite numerous reports conducted by Bays, amongst others, that there is still enormous room for improvement. Can I please have the next slide? So our solution is to provide a simple, cost-effective, and engaging energy management tool specific to the hospitality sector in your pocket, giving you the most relevant information at a glance, yet also allowing you to dig deeper and examine your consumption more thoroughly if you are so inclined. In effect, giving you the power and information necessary to effect tangible energy efficiency changes in your business without a huge investment. Next slide, please. So how does our app do this? Our app compares your consumption to the same day of the previous week, ensuring you're comparing like to like. The app also standardizes your consumption to relevant industry metrics such as room nights and food covers, allowing you to compare your performance more effectively. If one only examined total consumption, this would not account for the fluctuations in energy demand placed on a hotel, restaurant, or pub by having more customers. The app also provides trend screens to monitor your consumption over greater periods of time, as well as half-hourly data displays to monitor the intricacies of your consumption over the course of a day. Half-hourly data also allows the app to register alerts during spikes in consumption. However, providing your consumption data in good-looking, easily understandable visualizations is only half the battle. The hospitality industry needs advice on how to save energy, and accordingly, we have tailor-made hundreds of energy-saving tips relevant to the main hospitality establishments. Further, we have also tailored our tips to the different job roles within these establishments. From general manager to waiters and reception staff, All have a wide variety of tips covering all aspects of energy efficiency, from behavioral change to equipment replacement, engaging the entire team in energy saving. We have designed our app, and specifically these tips and their communication, in light of behavioral science to make our tips clearly communicated and engaging enough to produce real action from staff.
Yes, so please move to the slide with different app screens. So as Anton just highlighted, the aim of the app is to present to you latest trends in your energy use in a simple way and correlate it to your site's occupancy, as you can see on the left. For those of you who would like to dig deeper to understand data behind these trends and to compare energy usage at different times of day, you can, for example, click on the 5% decrease trend or choose to view the half-hourly usage as shown on the right. This would show you whether consumption reduced during night hours, in line with the reduced need to power certain appliances or areas, and what impact does lunch service have on your consumption. In response to user testing feedback, we are tailoring tips to individual job roles. For example, as shown in the middle screen, it's showing a tip for kitchen staff. The app will also track whether the individual tips were implemented. Please, next slide. It was explained at the beginning, the focus of the final phase of this government innovation competition is testing of the new app and tools. But we do, of course, have plans beyond this competition, and I want to highlight the key ones. In February next year, we'll be commercially launching the app. Based on our understanding of budget restrictions of smaller businesses, we have also tailored the app subscription price. Once commercialized, the app subscription per site will be in range of 100 to 200 per year, which is very small compared to the app saving potential. We will also continue developing the app further in line with user needs. The future developments we are planning include a desktop-based version, further work on gamification to foster action, integration with weather data, which we already know how to do from our experience with Conserve. Next, final slide, please. So if you like the sound of our app, please get in touch, as it's simple to set you up and you will be able to use it for free as part of this testing phase. What better way to test its potential? We welcome all hospitality businesses, and the app is individually tailored for hotels, pubs, bars, and restaurants. We encourage for the app to be used by your whole team to make a real difference. To set you up, we only require from you your latest electricity and gas bill and letter of authority. We use this information to liaise with suppliers or data providers to get automated energy data feeds into the app. No installation is required. And then you can simply download the app to your smartphone and be empowered to take action and stay on track with your energy costs. Finally, we would ask for your feedback through short surveys at the beginning and end of the trial. And that's it, a very simple way to save costs and get a grasp on your energy management. Our testers are starting to use the app this month. Do not miss this opportunity to gain better control of your energy usage and to empower the whole team to take energy-saving action. To register your interest, please email us at flutter@considerategroup.com or call the number shown on the screen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Diana. And next we will have Jonathan Stockholt from Element Energy.
Thanks, Ross. Great. So hi, I'm Johnny Stockholt. I'm a senior consultant at Element Energy. I'm project managing our project as part of this space innovation competition. I'm going to talk to you today about the tool we have developed called ECAT, which stands for Energy Comparison on a Device Tool, and hopefully the meaning of that will become clear in due course. So what is ECAT? It's a website that can be accessed on any device that's got access to the internet, so anything from mobile phone to desktop and anywhere in between, and it can be sort of flexible. You know, it responds to the size of device that you're using. you can log into it, and that's where you view your energy data, as well as a range of other features. So this includes, so in the first instance, viewing your business's energy usage, and then the first key pillar of the feedback that we provide is seeing how your usage compares to similar businesses. So we've done some quite detailed analysis as part of this project for a range of different business types, work out what the expected energy usage would be for a business of that size, and how that varies throughout the year, how that varies within days, to help you for any day, any period that you're looking at, to get a really good understanding of how your usage is comparing to what would be expected. So it may be that overall your energy usage is much higher than average, and that's a sign that you're wasting energy. It may be that it's only higher than average at a certain time of day, or on certain days, maybe at the weekend, maybe during the week. And then building on this insights that you gain, you can then receive feedback and manage measures that will help you to reduce your energy usage. The tool is suitable for a range of sectors within the hospitality sector. So it can be used by cafes, restaurants and takeaways, that is, hotels and pubs, and anything from independents up to chains. And this tool targets electricity at the moment. So just to go into the features offered by ECAT in a little bit more detail. The first feature is this real-time comparative feedback, and that is tailored based on information that the user provides. So we have a very simple and quick to answer input form that the user fills out within the ECAT website to provide information on who they are, and that information is really critical to being able to provide really accurate feedback. It's not just industry benchmarking, it's benchmarking really specific to the type of business that you have. And that feedback that we give is at high resolution. As I was saying before, we take in your half-hourly energy data and provide feedback on that half-hourly resolution as well, so you can really dig down into the detail of what's happening. The energy efficiency advice and measures that we then provide off the back of it is tailored as well, based on that information that you provide and based on your energy data, so that you get the feedback that's most relevant to you, the measures that are most relevant to your business. You can then manage those, track measures that you've completed, set yourself email reminders, so that you don't have to sort of hold these in memory. You can set yourself a reminder to either to check up on something, say every week, or just set an individual reminder of something in the future that you want to consider again at that time. And we provide links to a variety of external resources as well for those who want to dig into more detail. And we have a wide range of additional features as well. You can look at a comparison of your historic usage, do an analysis of the patterns and how your demand patterns are changing from day to day. And we also calculate your background power. So typically this represents how much you're using overnight. And we compare that to similar businesses of the same type as well. So that means that our tool might identify that you're using a lot of energy overnight, and that's often a sign that you've got equipment that's being left on, or practices that are meaning that a lot of energy is being used, where that's a really obvious opportunity where you could save. Some feedback that we've had from one of our trial participants from the early stage trials that we've done with this tool. So they found that it was really beneficial for them. They found that energy awareness amongst their staff grew a lot. They found that they were putting in changes that were resulting in quite significant impacts on their bills. So in this case, they were saying that their bills had reduced by £20 a month. And this was building on the really tailored efficiency measures that ECAT provides. So it wasn't just, this is how much you're spending, this is how much you've used. but it's providing a lot more detailed guidance. And in this case, the business realized that they could save a lot of money by cleaning and maintaining their ventilation system more regularly, which was something they weren't doing before. It's not rocket science necessarily, but this tool just helps you to understand what the key focuses should be for you, and just gives you a tool that helps you to keep managing those. So just to show you a few screenshots from the tool to help you to get a bit more of a grasp on what this looks like in the real world. So this is the My Usage page of the tool. This is where you can view comparative feedback, that is comparison to similar businesses. And you can view this on a wide range of timescales. You can look at past days, you can look at days, weeks, months. You can look at energy usage in monetary terms, or in sort of pure energy terms, as well as comparing to similar businesses. You can also compare to other businesses within the same chain as you, if you are a member of a chain. That's a key benefit of our tool as well. And there's also the historical comparison element in this page. Then we come to our database of efficiency measures, categorized into a range of topics. So maintenance and servicing, energy management, and simple and more demanding investments. You can monitor your progress and to what extent you've completed each of these, and you can manage and set reminders and various other things with these measures as well. Finally, for those who want to dig into a bit more detail of their usage, we have a range of other usage analysis options. So you can use this to compare your usage on specific days and see how that compares to the average, the range that you've seen in the past. There's quite a lot of interesting functionality here that you can use to dig down deeper into what your energy usage looks like. And this page as well is where you can look at your average background usage and how that compares to similar businesses. Oh, sorry, I skipped too far there. So we're trialing this tool now. We've just started a larger scale trial this month. And we're looking for more businesses to take part in the trial. So all the trial participation involves is providing access to your energy data. If you have half-hourly meter data already, then that's great, we can use that. And if not, then it's very simple to install an energy monitoring clamp, which we will provide to you at no cost. And then you just start using ECAT, log into the portal, input information about your business to help us to tailor our feedback and advice. And then just use it over the course of this trial. We also ask that you provide feedback to help us to improve the tool. Obviously, your feedback in this trial will help us to make the tool as useful as possible to the end user, and make it as good as possible so that it can help people to reduce their energy usage and save money. We also have before and after survey, which will be administered by Ipsos Mori, who are also sort of helping out on this program. And they're doing a range of research to understand the impact of this program. So what you will receive, as well as benefiting from the ECAT website, we'll give you £30 for taking part, and a further £20 that's provided as a thank you for providing the feedback, as I was saying. So if you're interested in taking part, then please do send me an email, either to express interest, or if you'd like more information, then I'm happy to talk in more detail about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Johnny. And last but definitely not least, we have Hildebrand and their system GlowPro. And we're speaking with Jane Wilson.
Good morning, everybody. I'm not sure if that's a lead up or a challenge, or first of all, thank you all for joining these webinars. It's always a bit of a challenge when we're just anonymous voices down the end of the line. So my name's Jane Wilson, as you've heard. So I work at Hildebrand. Just to give you a little background on Hildebrand, we've been working in the energy sector for over 10 years now, but to date, everything we've done has been in the domestic space. And this is the funding, and the project has given us a brilliant opportunity to take what we've learned there and apply it within the retail and hospitality sectors, because ultimately we're all human beings trying to make a bit of a difference, save some money, reduce our energy consumption, and we just need compelling things to engage with to help us on that journey. So fundamentally what we're about is making energy real to people, because until energy is real to you, more than something about kilowatt hours on a bill that translates to £500 a month or whatever it is your bill is, you can't actually do anything to change your behavior and reduce your consumption, or maybe even just use it more efficiently. Maybe the bill stays the same, but in some of the people we've worked with, it's about realizing, gosh, if I save money by doing this, then I can afford to have that piece of equipment that I've always wanted to get, etc. So it's really about developing ideas and tools and applications to support that. So ultimately, as you can see on the slide in front of you, what we're about is identifying both the operational and energy efficiency opportunities to help businesses like yours take advantage of real-time energy data. So we're not about half-hourly reads from the day before, but we have equipment that measures the data in real time so that you're able to identify operational opportunities for improvement, as well as engage your staff on the ground. And I'll take you through a few examples of how that isn't necessarily all about charts. So fundamentally, it's important to understand that everything we've done has been very driven by the end user. We've done, gosh, I think around 30 interviews plus with people like yourselves, come to where you work, talk to the managers, the people on the ground to understand what their challenges are. We appreciate you probably don't have much time to think about energy, but we believe that the benefits of real-time energy monitoring go beyond just thinking about energy. So you can identify equipment inefficiency before it fails. You can also, for example, if you're running things where refrigeration is imperative, you can see immediately, we'll know that fridge signal stopped and send you an alert. It's about things like customer comfort. So our solution includes temperature sensors, such that, and we've always obviously tracking weather, both current temperature and predicted temperature for forecasting. But in terms of current temperature, you've got people sitting there inside your restaurant, and it's perhaps really warm outside, and your temperature might be so cool that it's actually problematic. So we'll send messages to your team to say, actually, it might be some adjustment required. And ultimately, of course, that's about helping your staff do their jobs more efficiently. We also are looking at identifying the impact of certain behavior patterns and responding to them. For example, the classic challenge in people serving and cooking is equipment being on hours before service starts. So one of our customers who run a restaurant down here we're based in London, they've put one of our solutions, which is called Reflect, onto a tablet device in the kitchen, because the team would arrive around 9 o'clock in the morning and they'd turn all the gas hobs on, even though they don't actually start to use the burners, which is purely for heating fajitas, at noon. And so they've already saved themselves many, I think probably at least £100 a month. We haven't quantified that. And of course, that then helps you eliminate bill shock. So the solution, unlike some of the fellow projects, does require you to have some hardware installed, but we can do that, or you can install it yourself. And we've got a range of tools dependent on the user's role and needs. So we're, as we say, slightly arrogant perhaps to say we've got everyone covered, but ultimately GlowPro is 4 interconnected applications designed to meet different user groups' needs. So some of them are web-based, some of them are apps. If we move right left to right and then down to the bottom. So Assure is it's a web-based tool. It's very much for someone who is doing business planning, billing control. It's about managing being able to compare across multiple sites. As you look at energy efficiency measures, we've got a business planning tool. So you'd say, gosh, if I change the lights in this venue to LED, I know it's going to cost me X. What should my payback be? If you're managing multiple venues, or the finance person paying the bills on a site, someone who's using a computer as part of their day-to-day job versus people like operations managers and store managers who are managing your billing and consumption, as we've said. So React is when we move into the app side of the world. So this is for staff on the floor to support their operational efficiency and customer comfort. The reality is energy is not a priority for them. You can see for these examples, so there's, as we talked about earlier, the temperature sensor issue. We have a set of tasks that perhaps the system or a manager can set every day. You know, at the start of the day, or more to point the end of the day, have you turn the lights off before you leave? We're also very conscious that often people aren't allowed to use their smartphone while they're at work and on the floor. So this can also be delivered into a display device, which we would put beside the phone. And then finally, we have an application called Connect, which is not as likely to be used by most people because it's for the operations manager who's probably managing across multiple sites, and all they want is a simple app to check them, tell them, oh, of the 15 sites I've got, is the system up and running? Are there any exception events, etc.? All of these tools and interfaces deliver alerts. As required, you as the end user decide when you want to receive an alert, you know, and by type. So for example, if you're managing the restaurant and you see that if we notice that a fridge or a freezer has gone off in the middle of the night, you probably would even want an alert then, but you don't want to know that the temperature is not right, you know, in the middle of the day and have that taking over your life. So this is very much driven by the user needs. I should say, obviously, underneath this, there's a lot of powerful analytic tools and predictors running, all of which we've developed ourselves. So these are a few quotes on the users we've had so far, and hopefully you can empathize with some of these comments that people have made. You know, I think one of the interesting ones is a lot of people are concerned about sustainability, but what we've learned is people, you know, they can't afford an energy consultant, or an energy consultant is not actually interested in the business because it's too small to make any money from, to be blunt. So now this is our concept, you know, we're offering a virtual energy consultant. Another gentle bar called Lucky Kane are telling us they've got a whole new level of innovation and insight into how they manage and monitor their power consumption, and they've dramatically reduced their base load. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the term, base load is really what you're running overnight. It can get very expensive, and so finding the ways to switch things off and reduce your bills is important. We had, and then a couple more comments, which you can read yourselves. You don't need me to read them to you. So just finally, how would you get started? The first question, of course, is do you qualify? So we can work with any type of venue. The only thing you need is Wi-Fi and access to your meters. Ideally, you would already have a smart meter, but as we've learned through the program, very few venues, and certainly no venues with three-phase metering, have a smart meter in place. You may have been told you have a smart meter. AMR meters are cold smart meters. They will deliver that half-hourly data. It can be expensive and complicated to get to, but you're also able to participate. So the timescales, as with the other projects, we can do an immediate start, and the trial ends January 2020. The cost to yourselves is none. The hardware and service will be provided free throughout the trial. There is a small time cost, as you've heard, so there are research surveys being done on behalf of BAYS to assess the efficacy of all of these solutions. We ourselves, for those who are happy to give us the time, would love to do a little more in-depth interview once you've used the solution for a while to basically understand what's working for you and what isn't, because the whole idea, this is a trial. We know we're not there yet, so it's about continuing to learn based on what you're finding on the ground. And how do you find out more? If you please just pop us an email at info@hildebrand.co.uk. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Jane, and thank you to all the competition partners who presented today. I would like to now take us through a bit of a Q&A session, as some of the questions have been coming through as our panelists have been speaking. I'd like to start out with the question around security of customers' data and how the competition partners can ensure that the data being collected is secure. Perhaps we can start off with AND Technology, and Gemma, if you could start off by answering that question.
We have data privacy policies in place. So we deal with people's data all the time, and we have policy in place to make sure that it's held securely, and it's in accordance with our GDPR policies. So everything is just held here on site securely.
Perfect. And Diana from Considerate Group?
Yes, hi. So indeed, also we already have procedures in place, and definitely we would be holding your data in line with the latest GDPR legislation. On top of it, we actually had also consulting advice from IBM, which also spans into protection, any data stored, and from what we would be collecting would be anyway regarding energy data. We are also happy to sign any NDAs or so on if there would be any sensitivity around hotels, room nights, or restaurants, food covers, etc. So we are used to dealing with the sensitivity of such data too. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And then Jonathan from Element.
We're very sort of confident with ensuring data security. Our privacy policy states that we store data securely using the most up-to-date security software and server platforms, and that user data is stored at rest and when in transit is encrypted. We're compliant with the latest GDPR, and yeah, that's all good.
Perfect. And then Jane from Hildebrand.
So Hildebrand are ISO 27001 certified for information security, and I suppose perhaps more important is by virtue of having worked in the domestic sector with big utility suppliers, etc. That question of personal information being kept secure is paramount. The data, all of our information is stored in a hosting center under our control and on our servers. Like as Jonathan's, it's encrypted in flight and at rest. But the key thing is your energy data is kept entirely separate from any personalized information, any data that indicates which venue you are, let alone the people who are at that venue. So there's no connection between the two. You can feel confident.
Perfect. Thank you very much. The next question that has come through from the listeners relates to the impacts that weather conditions and changing weather conditions can have in electricity consumption in the hospitality sector, driven by heating and conditioning. Now, heating and air conditioning is largely a factor that's driven by guest preference within the hospitality sector. So the question is, how do the systems take into account the preference of guests around using these systems and the drains that has on energy consumption versus within the kind of centralized energy management systems and processes that they put in place? And perhaps I can then start with you this time, Jane, from Hildebrand.
Hi, our solution is absolutely not designed for individual rooms within a venue like that. I think that considerate hoteliers, I'm sure, have that expertise, but ours would not be appropriate for that level of control.
Jonathan from Element, would you like to comment?
Yeah, I guess, I mean, we recognize that individual premises, individual sort of, types of guests are going to have preferences around heating and air conditioning, and your first priority is going to be to make sure that your guests are happy with the service being provided. So that is very reasonable. ECAP provides feedback and advice that helps you to understand your usage better, but it's not going to override your expertise in terms of providing what guests want, what clients want.
Thank you, Johnny. And then Diana from Considerate Group.
Thank you. Thank you. So, yes, indeed, we have been working with the hospitality industry for years now, and so we are familiar with these challenges and the priority of making sure the guest is happy and the comfort levels. So that's why the tips that we provide, that will be provided in the app, are tailored to the industry. And therefore, for example, when we advise you on adjusting any heating or air conditioning systems, this is with taking in mind the requirements of the industry. So we know what is acceptable level of temperature in guest rooms, for example. But we also know that often what happens is that when the rooms are left unoccupied, the air conditioning might keep going on. So we know that there are rather also opportunities to make sure that when certain areas are unoccupied, that you are not heating unnecessarily or cooling unnecessarily. So yes, this is all taken into account in our tips and recommendations to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. And then lastly, Gemma from And Technology, if you have a comment, that'd be great.
Yeah, so we don't really go down to the individual room level, but we do take into consideration through our hints and tips, the different use case scenarios. So it would come through in that way, but yeah, not really down to the actual room level.
Perfect. Thank you very much. That brings us to the end of the webinar for today. I would like to thank the competition partners very much for their presentations, as well as everyone listening and for joining the webinar. The contact details that have been provided by each competition partner will be sent through to all listeners, so you will have that available to reach out to them at your leisure. So with that, thank you very much. Have a great end to the week.